Hello, everybody. Welcome to BP King Talks, and your host is Song Zen. So, today our subject we're going to talk about is how to quickly pay off your student loans debt. And for the people who hasn't gone to college yet, good for you. This is your best chance to um, go get some free money. And what do I mean by free money? I'm talking about scholarships. Get as many scholarship as possible. What's better than free money? It doesn't get any better. People pay you money to go to school to learn what you want to learn. Your interest, pursuing your interest, but for free. How awesome is that? And with today's cost of tuition, fees, room and board, the cost of college has done nothing but gone up for the last 30 years. So get that money, get those scholarships, apply, apply. After applying as many scholarships as possible, and you still find that you still need money to pay for school, then you could apply for the college that you're going to. Apply with them. Apply for your FAFSA, the federal financial aid, and see if you could possibly get some Pell grants. Um, and if the college that you're going to, maybe they offer you a scholarship as well, whether it's good grades or certain ethnicities, you could possibly get some scholarship for those. And then even after applying for those, you find that you still don't have enough money, then you could ask your parents and see if how much they could possibly help to support you to go to school. And lastly, with after you've done scholarships, you've applied for all the grants, whether it's from federal government or from the school that you're going to. You could apply to get the apply for the student loans, and that's a last resort. And the reason I say that is because college is expensive to begin with. Student loans, well, that means you have to borrow money to go to school, and you want to get the federal subsidized student loans. And what the difference between the unsubsidized and the federal government subsidized student loans are that you don't have to pay interest while you go to school for the 4 years. And during the 4 years, they don't accrue interest, and they only start accruing interest after you're done with school and you start getting a job, and they accrue interest. So it's best to get the subsidized federal student loans. Now, if you get the unfederalized subsidized student loans, then that means it will accrue interest the second you take it out, and you don't really want to pay interest for those. So try to do as much as you can with scholarships, grants, college that you're applying to, and also from your parents, and at least from student loans. Unfortunately, these days, cost of college is way too high. So unfortunately, there's a good chunk of people out there who have to get the student loans. Now, with that said, this is after you're done with school, after college. So you have the 4 years of undergrad or or grad school. If you continue after 4 years, you have a huge amount of student loans that you owe. What do? Well, first of all, make money. That's the most obvious thing you could do. And when you go to school, you finish, you get whether you start a business or get a job, you start to make that money. What I would do was that I would speak with my parents if your situation allows it, and I sat down and I speak with my parents and say, "Hey, mom and dad, I have a huge amount of student loans I need to pay off, and I really don't want to continue paying them after 5, 10, 20 years even. It would just burn my financial future." And I asked to see if I could possibly live with them for a while until I get those things paid off. And they agree. They allow me to stay with them, to live with them, because think about it, utilities, gas, could be like $50, electricity $100, internet connection $100, water $50. Utility alone might be $300, not including the rent that you have to pay to get an apartment to live on your own, and that could range from $700 to $2,000 every month, depending on the city you live in. The bigger the city, Chicago, New York, LA, the more rent will cost. And so it's really financially feasible to stay with your folks because they already have a room for you before you went to school, right? And also, they're already paying for the electrical, the gas, the water, the internet. So you living with them is not going to cost that much more. But if you live with on your own, it's gonna be it will cost you way more than necessary. And then I'm not saying to live with them forever, but until you could pay off your student loans and pay off those high interest debts, such as credit cards. And if you have credit cards, pay them off first, because credit card debts can range anywhere from 20 to 40%. That pair of shoes, $200 pair of shoes, by the end of you paying off the minimum balance, might cost more like $600. Which gets to my other point. Besides living at home to save a lot of money on living costs, save what you can. You have to make a lot of sacrifice, and I know that it's gonna be difficult, and but for you to achieve financial freedom, you have to make some sacrifice. That means going out with your friends all the time, drinking, having dinner. You could save a lot of money doing that way, and also, rather than spending all your money that you make, because you finally either have a job or your own business or whatnot, you finally feel like you're making some money. Spending money to try to buy things that you really don't need and to try to impress people that you really don't care about. Go into debt doing it? Why? That doesn't make any financial sense. So those are my points. In order to pay off your student loan debt off quickly, you need to make some sacrifice. And I paid it off in under 2 years. I limit my wants and only buy needs. I don't need the fanciest clothes. I don't need the $200 pair of shoes, the $200 pair of jeans, or anything, brand new gadgets, an iPhone every year. None of that. If it's not broken, I'm not going to buy a new one. So I only buy needs. I don't buy wants. I save majority of my income to pay off my credit card debts. Once I got that paid off, I paid my student loan debts, and I didn't want to have 5, 10, 20 years down the road. College was expensive from the beginning. I don't want to continue paying for it afterwards with with the interest on the loan. So I want to pay that off, and then I spoke with my parents to live with them, and to save me on a lot of living costs, rent, utility, and so forth. And after all that, after I paid off my loans, I gave money to my parents to say thank you, and give money to your parents to show your appreciation, to thank them for taking you in for all the expenses they incur, and show that you appreciate it, to help you pay off your loan that way. If this was of any help to you, please smash the like button, please subscribe, and hit the notification. And until next time, thank you.